The Supreme Court has delayed its decision on the widely used abortion drug mifepristone. In a brief order, Justice Samuel Alito said the temporary stay issued last week allowing the abortion pill to remain on the market unrestricted has been extended until Friday, April 21st at 11:59 p.m. while the court evaluates the case. This delay means women can continue to obtain mifepristone by mail, at least for now. It's the latest turn in the legal battle over the drug, which began when a Texas judge overturned the FDA's approval of the drug. Then a federal appeals court ruled it could remain available, but with restrictions. With more on this, we are joined by Loyola Law School professor Jessica Levinson. Professor Levinson, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I first want to start by getting your take on the fact that this decision was delayed. Any insight into this delay, and does it bode well for one side more so than the other?
I wish I had a good answer to this question, and the answer is we know they need more time, but we don't know for what, in the sense of, do they need more time because they're so close to a unanimous decision on this? Or do they need more time for an opposite reason, which is they're so fractured that one side feels very passionately that this case, for instance, should be stayed and that mifepristone should still be available while the case is litigated? And does another side feel like, no, mifepristone should be basically pulled off the shelves immediately? For me, it feels like the delay is that one side is writing a fairly angry dissent, and I just don't know which side for sure.
And if that is in fact the case, what does that mean for the future?
Right. So again, we just have options at this point. So basically the Supreme Court has 5 big options. One is that they can stay, meaning pause, what that Texas district court judge did. And that means that mifepristone is accessible and available just as it has been for almost a quarter century now. Another is that they could do basically what the Fifth Circuit has done, which is they stay part of the ruling. Maybe mifepristone is still available, but they allow the rest of the ruling to go into effect. So the changes that were made by the FDA in 2016 and 2021, those would be not in effect, meaning you could not get mifepristone by mail. You could not take it up to 10 weeks of pregnancy. Another option, option number 3, is that the court just says that entire ruling by the Texas district court judge that goes into effect even while the case is being appealed. That would create a lot of uncertainty. That would say that the FDA's approval of mifepristone was incorrect and that it should be suspended. And obviously there's a whole host of consequences that flow from that. And then just 2 more options. The court could say, you know what, we're going to take this case for ourselves, fast track it to us, or they could basically throw it back to that intermediate court, the Fifth Circuit, and say, let's let them decide. They already have oral arguments scheduled for the middle of May, and then maybe it'll come back to us.
Can they just keep punting? Do you expect another punt?
Yeah. So the Supreme Court is supreme for a reason. I mean, they can do what they want. And they could say on Friday night, actually, we need another extension, because who's going to tell them no?
Okay, well, today Alex sat down with former Vice President Mike Pence. He got the former vice president's thoughts on this issue. Vice President Pence basically sided with that Texas judge, saying that he thinks that the FDA should have the judge should have the power to overrule the FDA. I want you to listen to him.
The reality is that 20 years ago, the FDA exceeded its authority in approving the abortion pill. They actually used statutes that were designed for the emergency approvals. They didn't go through the ordinary processes, and women have paid the price. I fully support efforts to take the abortion pill off the market. I think I'm pro-life, but I also believe that it's caused great harm for women around the country.
If you're drug manufacturers, you're hearing this and you're thinking, oh boy, isn't this a slippery slope?
Yeah, I think this is a really good question, which is, it's not just about mifepristone. If we're suddenly in the business of telling one federal judge, you have the power to undermine what an executive agency, in this case, the FDA, did a quarter century ago, then it doesn't stop with mifepristone. Now, let's be honest, people are not going to start challenging cholesterol medication or blood pressure medication. It will be based on things that are more controversial, like maybe the approval of a vaccine. But in this case, we actually have almost a quarter century of safety data and evidence that indicates that mifepristone is, I believe, safer than Tylenol or even penicillin, and certainly Viagra. So we do suddenly need to question all of those approvals if this is the route that we really want to take. Now, one other wrinkle here, the FDA does have enforcement discretion. They could simply say, we're ignoring this federal judge's decision. That's another type of slippery slope that I think people are concerned about. So there's so many different routes here, and we need to watch while the case takes shape.
Well, the decision apparently is supposed to come. The new deadline is midnight on Friday. So we will be watching for that. And of course, we will lean on you, as we always do, to break it all down for us. Loyola Law School Professor Jessica Levinson, thank you so much.